Are you ready to quit your 9-to-5 and pursue your passion full-time? We'll show you how. Create a business doing what you love. You're listening to the Quit Your 9-to-5 podcast with your hosts, Tamisha and Damian Duncan.
Okay, guys, so first of all, I want to welcome every single person who is here today. We are doing a live podcast show, Damian and I, so it's a little bit different from what we're used to doing because we're always doing recorded shows and then you guys go to the website or you go to iTunes to listen. But today we're doing something a little bit funky and there is a reason behind that. Okay, so there's a reason behind that because today we're actually talking about Facebook, guys. We're pimping Facebook today. So what better platform than to actually talk on Facebook so that you guys can use these tools that we're sharing with you to pimp your Facebook. And I'm extremely excited. I was so anxious about this episode because we have a returning guest with us, which I'm really excited to talk to her. Miss Apryl Beverly in the house. Say hi.
What up, everybody?
I'm really excited to have you on the show today. Apryl is the $1 Million word stylist. You guys know Apryl. I know you're following her on Facebook. She is an author. She is a copywriter. She's a marketing genius. She's been featured on so many platforms. Huffington Post. I can't even name them all. Apryl, you're fabulous and you know it. I'll let you introduce yourself to the peeps very quickly, but specifically, I brought Apryl back onto the show today because we are going to get into Apryl's brain today because she's teaching us all about how to pimp Facebook. Apryl just came out with her second book, which I know is going to be another #1 best-selling book, as the first one was. Shots fired. If you guys don't have that, go to Amazon.com and pick that up. But this book, which it is a secret launch today, right? Okay, so it's a
official date, October 13th.
Official date. So it launches October 13th. I was able to get my hands on this juicy thing before you guys. And when I tell you that you want to go, the minute this launches, like whatever time, midnight, 12:01, go to Amazon.com and grab this book because it's going to blow your mind with all the tips that she is sharing with you guys about how to pimp Facebook. The name of the book is called Fast Money. I'll let you talk. I'm running my mouth. So Apryl, tell the people about your book.
All right, let me start off by letting y'all know who I am. For those of you who follow me, you hear me say this all the time. I'm Apryl Beverly, the $1 Million word stylist. Entrepreneurs and small business owners turn to me when they want to transform their dull, boring words into spine-tingling sentences that propel folks to whip out those credit cards and smack those buy buttons. And Today we're talking about pimping Facebook. Now, y'all, Mark Z is about to be mad at us for this one.
Yes. Sorry.
Just don't change the algorithm.
Right on.
I gotta switch it up again. These people done blew me up.
Right. I'm gonna have to write another book if you do that.
Exactly. We'll find out. We'll get you.
So let me just give y'all a little background on how I ended up writing Fast Money. So Fast Money came about because when I first jumped on the social media scene, so if y'all watch my last interview with this dynamic duo, then you know that I talked about when I first started my business, I was working for corporations mostly. So I was doing freelance writing for corporations. And then I wanted to flip the script and kind of, diversify my streams of income. So I started working with folks on social media, solo entrepreneurs and such. So when I jumped on Facebook, y'all, I had 200 followers. And I'm like, how I'm supposed to make money on here? And so I knew people had been making money because I had previously worked as a marketing communications manager for a corporation that was spending like $30,000 a week on online ads. So I'm like, okay, I don't have no budget like that. So what am I supposed to do? So I started taking Facebook ads courses and all the gurus were giving, such great tips and everything. And so I'd run out to Facebook and put my ad up and be like, dag dog, it don't work for me. And so one of the reasons why those things were not working for me was because the people who were teaching the Facebook ads courses had hundreds of thousands of followers. Me, I'm sitting with, a couple hundred and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I took a little bit from here. I took a little bit from there. I said, okay, we about to literally pimp Facebook right now. How can I come up with a strategy that works for folks like me who don't have a ton of followers? I still need to know how to make money on Facebook. So hence the Fast Money formula came about. And so FAST is an acronym. Let me know when you want me to be quiet.
You're doing good. Go ahead.
All right. So FAST is an acronym. And so the very first letter is focus on the right people. Listen, you will not make a dime. And I don't want to be all Debbie Downer, but this is the honest to God truth. You will not make a dime if you are talking to the wrong people. And so a lot of gurus don't focus too much time on targeting, but that's where it all begins. So the very first step is focus on the right people. The second step is accentuate the benefits. So a lot of folks will come on Facebook and they'll be like, I got this great such and such and such and such. But people don't really care. Like they want to know what that such and such is going to do for them. So that's where I come and accentuate the benefits, not to you. No one cares about how much money you need to make or whatever, whatnot. It's how much money you're going to make the other person or how you're going to change their life and their business. And then the third step is slay your ad images. Now, me, I can't even draw a stick figure. So I brought in my girl, Audria Richmond, to kill it in chapter 3 of the book, where we talk about slaying ad images. She is the branding and marketing genius. So she gives us her secret weapon tips about how to make sure your images are on for your Facebook ads and posts. And then the last step is, I heard so many folks talk about how scary it was to get in the Power Editor. I know so many people who don't even know what the Power Editor is. And so I wanted to make sure I included a step called Tap into the Power Editor, where I literally take you by the hand and be like, boo, come on, we about to go into the Power Editor. It ain't as scary as you think. You can publish your ad in about 7 minutes, make it happen. And so the reason for that is because a lot of folks are smacking that blue boost button right there on your business page. A lot of folks are going into the ads manager. And so when you do that, it's literally like making it rain on Mark Zuckerberg, and he ain't even hit you with his best moves yet.
We need to be making it rain on our campaigns.
Right. I like that. Making it rain for our campaign. Oh, yeah.
See,
you got a stamp of approval.
And that copywriting expertise you have is already rubbing off.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there because we've got a lot of things that I feel that we need to address. Now, everything that she mentioned just now is in the book. And one thing that I love about the book is that it is very detailed. Like literally it is step by step. She is showing you screenshots and pictures and like, do this and then do this. And a lot of times when we are trying to learn from somebody, they tell us the what, but they don't really tell you the how. So this book really breaks down the how, which I love about that. And it's great because it's not, I have dibbled and dabbled in my hand in creating Facebook ads and even creating Facebook ads for some of our clients on our branding side. So I know a little bit about Facebook ads, but it wasn't where I felt like it was not advanced for me. Like I still came away with nuggets. So no matter what stage you are in, whether you're beginning, creating your Facebook ads, you know a little bit about Facebook ads, but you're trying to see how far it can take you, or even if you're advanced and you want to learn some more different tips, strategies, secrets that Apryl is using, this book is definitely a must read for you. Now I have some questions, and then some of our viewers and listeners have also submitted some questions for you, Apryl, that they want to answer because Facebook, everybody's telling you, you got to get on Facebook. You got to get on Facebook. And you mentioned that a little bit. I know you mentioned that. And even in the book, you talk about how when you were working in corporate America, you were, using $30,000 of these people's money to create Facebook ads. I'm not sure that a lot of people, especially people in our community, really realize how important Facebook ads are for your business. So can you kind of explain to them why they really need to be using Facebook ads?
So the reason why you need to be using Facebook ads is so if you're marketing on Facebook, let's just start there. So if you're marketing on Facebook and you're marketing to your family and friends, let's just be all the way real here. So your family and friends are likely not going to be full paying clients. Keyword, full paying. Right. Now they may buy your stuff, but they are certainly going to want the hookup. All right. So you need to get outside of your immediate circle and interact with people who need your services and who can pay for your services. So there's like 1 billion plus users on Facebook. And so if you're still only moving in your little 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 circle of friends and family members and even biz besties, you need to break out of that. And so that's what Facebook ads allow you to do. They allow you to break outside your inner circle and get in front of people who really, really need your services, but they have no idea that you even existed.
Yes. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because I think that we've all, the listeners out there, the viewers that are watching us now, I think that we've all, like, of course, when you first start your business, that's who you promote it to. You create your like page, you ask all your friends to like your page. You'd be surprised. I think there was a study or statistic that showed that your friends and family are the least likely to actually follow through and like your page or support your business. Yeah, they're like, oh, that's nice. But like you said, they're definitely not going to be full paying clients. They're going to want the hookup. They're going to be like, oh, she got me because she know I ain't paying full price for that.
Right.
And it doesn't work. So that is exactly why you guys need to be on Facebook. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. So let's jump right into it because, okay, so we know we need to be on Facebook. Everybody's talking about Facebook. And as you mentioned, you know, these people that are saying they're getting 2,000 subscribers a day, they're spending those dollars, but we don't have those dollars. There is a strategy to really rocking it on Facebook. And it starts with, as you mentioned, the F, which is, you know, really knowing, I think it's the F. No, you know if I'm not right, but really knowing who your target audience is, like finding your audience, right? So one of the questions that we actually got, this was one of my questions, but another listener, her name is Shanice from New Jersey. This is your question.
Hey.
She wanted to know, how do you find your target audience?
Okay, that is a great question, Shanice. So what I tend to do is I think outside the box. So first off, I create what I call, some folks call it a customer avatar. I just call it a customer profile, whatever you want to call it. I create that. And so, you know, obviously I answer all the basic questions, gender, are they married, yada, yada, yada. But then I go deeper, like, okay, I'll do a search on Facebook, or I'll do searches on Facebook, and then I'll jot down notes about my clients, people who have actually purchased from me, or people who have said that they're interested in my services, and go see the types of things that they like. Do they like watching Power? Do they like watching Empire? Do they carry Coach bags? Do they shop at Target? Do they drive a BMW? Do they drive a Ford Escort? Whatever the case may be. These are all things that you can run ads on and target people about. But so often as business owners, like, we target the same people over again, like the heavy hitters, the Lisa Nichols, the Marie Forleos, the Les Browns, the whomever. Like, we target all these big people, and that's what all the other business people are doing too. So you have to step outside the box and think differently about your customers. How can you get in front of them without doing what everybody else is doing? So that's how I tend to target. I think about the personalities, the people who are shopping for me versus the businesses and the brands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And one to add on to that, which you talk about in the book and you go in more detail, but I'll just tap on it real quickly, is one thing that's so awesome about Facebook is that Facebook knows a whole heck of a lot about us. And it's because we're giving Facebook a lot of information about us just in our status post or whatever. You know, we're in a relationship, we work here, we like this, we eat here. Facebook is like, oh yeah, that's nice. And they're taking all that information and they're creating profiles of every last one of us and storing that in their database. So that's how they are able to tell us, oh, well, you want to create an audience that looks like these people? Oh, I got you. Here's 5 million people that do the same things as this person. And that's because we're posting information about ourselves. There's another way that Facebook finds out information about us, but I'll let them read your book to find that out.
And also, you know, Facebook, you know, with all of that information, that's a better reason for you to go on Facebook now and start repurposing that data for your benefit to make some money. And like you said earlier, Apryl, make it rain on you.
Absolutely. Now, let me just add this point, because even if you're not running ads, and I go into detail about this in the book, but even if you're not running ads, still use Facebook to get those insights about people who are liking your business page. That's like free info to tell you, okay, who wants my stuff? Who wants my products? Who wants my services?
Yes. And even with that, like, there was a lot that I learned, like, oh, I knew that I could find out like simple information, but you went even further into how to find like real information and demographic information, not just the typical things, because I talk about that a lot, you know, on the branding side. We touch the surface, you know, oh, you're targeting a particular race or a particular gender or, you know, an age group or people that live in Atlanta or wherever. But there's so much more to us, right, than those simple things that really you can hone in and drill down. We tend to feel like we got to target a whole bunch of people and we keep that net, we cast that net so far when really all you need to do is cast the net, you know, just a little bit so that you're getting those people that are specific to what you're looking for, that are looking specifically for you.
Right.
Instead of trying to be everything to everybody, because then you end up being nothing to no one. So
absolutely.
Thanks for mentioning that. Okay, let me get my next question. My phone, I'm trying to multitask here. Hold this phone here. And let me pull up my next question. Please hold. I'll give you some proof. Okay, so you mentioned earlier about boosting posts, and I think that a lot of us kind of started out doing that, boosting posts. You got, some engagement on a post that you put, you got some likes, and then Facebook told you, yeah, boost this post. Why is it not a good idea to boost posts, and why do people need to really focus on using the Power Editor for creating Facebook ads?
All right, let me first start by saying, because I don't want nobody to take this little sound bite. Boosting posts is a great thing. Boosting posts is a great thing. It's just the method of boosting posts that doesn't get you the full benefits of Facebook. So, for example, I actually just boosted a post last night. And so when you boost a post from your business page with that blue button, you don't get all the targeting options that you get when you go inside the Power Editor. So, for example, if you're boosting directly from your page, like they give you options, you can pick an audience and all that good stuff. But when you go inside the Power Editor, I was able to boost my post directly to people who had watched previous videos about Facebook ads. I was able to boost my post to people who had joined my challenge. I was able to boost my post to custom audiences. So now that means that I'm getting my post in front of people who are more likely to take action versus just boosting it and then praying like, ooh, I hope this works. So that's the real difference.
Okay. So just to reiterate, boosting posts is not going to give you, there's nothing wrong with boosting posts, but it's more so, it's not going to give you the customized options where you can create a custom audience that have specific or take specific actions versus just posting a particular group of people, right?
Right. So here's the thing. So when you click the blue boost button on your business page, that's one way of boosting a post. Another more beneficial way of boosting a post is going into the Power Editor and choosing boost posts. Like the Power Editor still has that same option, but it just gives you more opportunities to target and get in front of the right people when you're boosting inside the Power. But you still, like, you go inside the Power Editor, you see your post, you select it, and then you choose your audiences, but it gives you more audience options.
Okay, so now I'm going to take another question from one of our viewers. Her name is Tiffany from Atlanta. What's up, Tiffany? Okay, so Tiffany wants to know, she says she has a brick and mortar clothing store. Are Facebook ads good for me? Because I see a lot of people using Facebook ads that sell services like coaching. So can I still benefit from Facebook ads?
Absolutely. Has she ever seen an ad from Target, Macy's, Saks Fifth, Nordstrom? See, the difference is that for small business owners, like, we often tend to think inside of our little box of where we are operating. If you look at what the larger companies are doing and duplicate that on a smaller scale. So my quick answer is yes. And so what she can do is go out and look at what some of the larger clothing companies are doing and duplicate that on a smaller scale. So if she has a local store, she wants to make sure that her ads get in front of local people. And with Facebook ads, you can literally show your ad to a zip code.
Right, exactly. And that, I think I was going to mention that. So you hit it, because that is phenomenal in the sense that you have a brick and mortar, so you can specifically target people that are going to be more inclined or more prone to come to your store because they have access to it versus somebody who's just looking at your ad and they live in a different state, different country, different whatever, and they have no intention of visiting your store. So, okay, great question. All right, I have another question, and this is Amanda from Florida. And Amanda wants to know, how does she know how much money she should spend on Facebook ads? That's a big question. I know I got a couple of questions asking about ad spend on Facebook ads. We hear people say, oh, you can just start with $5 a day. Then some people say, nope, you got to spend $20 a day. Those gurus that are getting 2,000 subscribers a day are spending $2,000 a day. So how would somebody, regular people like us who ain't got that kind of money know how much money they should be spending on their ads?
So what I tend to do is I take the goal and I work backwards. And so when I first started with Facebook ads, for example, I was doing what all the gurus said, start with $5 a day. And so I said, well, $5 a day is great. But what's happening was I was getting like maybe 10 subscribers per day. So y'all do that on a weekly basis. That's 70 subscribers. So if I'm just building my list, I'm like, man, this going to take me forever. So I had to think outside the box. And so I have a strategy that I call Feed the Beast. And so I talk about this inside the book. But basically what Feed the Beast is, I look at running Facebook ads as if I were at the casino. And so when you're at the slot machine, and I'm sorry for all my Christians who don't gamble, this is just, I like to give stories.
That's okay. They'll be all right. Come on.
They'll be all right.
We're not saying you gamble. We're just giving
an example. So when you are at the slot machine, like, you know, the senior citizens who know all the slot machines, right? They say, you got to feed the machine. You got to feed the machine. And so you can't like start out with penny slots and the 5 cents. Like you got to go heavy and then you wean yourself back. Mm-hmm. So that's my strategy for how much money to spend on Facebook. So I think about my goal. How many people do I need on my list to accomplish what I'm trying to do? So that's step number 1. And then I think about what's the most money I can spend on this ad and for how many days. All right. Versus what's the least amount of money I can spend on this ad and for how many days. And so let's say I'm like, okay, this weekend is about to be hot. I'm about to drop $20 on this ad. Now, am I going to keep $20 rolling for 6 weeks? Absolutely not. I'm not going to spend $20 a day for 6 weeks. But I might spend $20 a day for 5 days or 4 days and then wean it back. But by this time, like I could have gotten like 500, 600, 700 people on my email list. And now I'm like, oh, okay. Now it's not going to take me that long to get that extra 300. I'm trying to reach 1,000 versus just spending $5 a day and watch it like literally drip down into my list.
Right. Now, let me ask you, this is a question for me, and I'm not sure if we know the answer, but, you know, I've followed the big gurus and bought the courses and did all of this other stuff to learn how to master this thing called Facebook ads. And a lot of people say that you should not, like once you create the ad, you should not make any changes to the ad because, or let me not say not make any changes. You shouldn't stop the ad, because it changes the algorithm in which your ad is being shown to your audience. Now, if you reduce the amount of money that you put behind the ad, so let's just say this weekend, you know, it's a weekend, there's more people online. So you're like, all right, I'm going to pay $20 a day for this weekend. But then when it gets down to the week, I want to bring it back down to $5, $10, whatever. Is that going to affect the way in which your ad is shown?
Well, we all know that Facebook is going to slow down on, you know, traffic, if you will, for your ad. But here's the thing. When you start high, like you kind of, I'm not going to say trick, but you make Facebook believe like, oh, these people, like, they like this ad. Like, well, as long as you're getting engagement. So if you start high on the money side, and I'm saying high as far as your budget is concerned, that like kind of tricks the system, if you will, to make Facebook be like, oh, this is jumping. So when you wean back, you already have conversions. You already have people who are interested in the ad. So it won't be as bad as if you start with $5 and you getting this little trickle in and then you move down to $1. Well, now you have pretty much like brought your ad to a complete halt. But if you started like say $20 and then you drop it down to maybe $10 or $5, but you was banging with that 20, it's still going, you know, keep at a nice steady pace. That has been my experience.
Okay. I can go for days, but I'm going to pause. Do you have a question, babe? Okay. So I have another question, and this is actually from a gentleman. His name is Mark.
Okay, Mark.
And Mark wants to know, where's Mark from? I don't know, Mark. I think Mark's from New York. Sorry, Mark. But Mark wants to know, how do you know what's a good conversion rate for your ads?
Oh my God, I get that. I gotta ask that other question. All right. So a good conversion rate for me. And so I want to, this is a great time for me to say, y'all, I am not a Facebook expert. I'm not trying to be a Facebook expert. I'm just sharing what works for me and the students that went through my original Fast Money Facebook ad course and things that I have realized over the course of me doing business and some of the things that I learned that were not working for me. All right. So with my little disclaimer.
Yes.
When I see my ad costs go up to like $2, I start to get scared. So for me, a conversion for any type of freebie, if you are a service provider and you're offering a freebie of any sort, I think if you go above like 250, you might need to recheck your ad, maybe check your copy, maybe check your imagery, because something is not right there.
Okay.
If you are running a sales page, a retargeted list, and I don't want to get too technical to people, but a retargeted list is basically just you showing your ad to people who have been on your website or who have already visited some type of landing page that you put a pixel code on. And so if you are doing that, my whole rationale is, so for example, I ran ads for the Fast Money Facebook course. I ran ads for my copy closet. And so in my mind, if I'm getting, for example, one person to sign up and that course was $200 per person, and it's costing me like $15 per conversion, then I'm winning. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a different type of game. And so this like $2 thing, that doesn't apply when you're actually running things for a sale. That's completely different. So for me, if you are lower than the cost of the person to get in, and whatever time you spend on all those things that are factored in, you winning, you killing it.
Okay. And I'm glad you broke it down in that way. Oh, there I am. I'm glad you broke it down in that way, because it can be confusing with the conversion rates. But if, like you said, I guess the key thing to remember, like if you're just trying to build your email list, you're giving away some kind of free offer, then the, $2-3 rule, like once you start tipping over into the $2-3 then you might want to look back and see what's wrong. But like you mentioned, if you're selling something, if you're driving people to a webinar or something where you're going to be selling a product, then yeah, if you are costing me $15 but you just bought a product from me for $200, yeah, that's a win-win. You know what I mean? I made $185 off of you. We're good. So thank you for breaking that down. And I want to talk, I cannot have this interview with you without talking about copy, because you are the $1 million word stylist. And copy is such an important component. Like we talked a lot about the technical side of things and, finding your target audience, but copy is so important to creating Facebook ads. And I find that, and I'm sure you can relate to this too, Apryl. It's like you go on Facebook and I literally feel like everything starts to look and sound the same. Everybody, jumps on the trend, and now everybody's creating their ads the same way. They're saying the same things. What are some tips that you can give people to help them kind of stand out from the competition of everybody creating the same type of Facebook ads? And what are some tips you can give them today in regards to creating copy that's going to convert?
Okay. So the biggest thing that I want to tell people is you have to make people feel something. That is critical when you are running a Facebook ad. And so what is that something that they should be feeling? Any type of emotion in order to get them to smack the buy button. I had someone tell me like before, like, I didn't really like your ad copy. It was harsh or something, she said. And I was like, well, you contacted me, so I'm going to say it worked. I mean, every feeling is not going to be rainbows and sunshine, people. Like, we have to just understand that. So if you are in a place where you are inducing emotion, that's what works on Facebook. And so a lot of folks forget this. Facebook is a social media platform. And so you have to be social. You have to like let people see inside of you. Tell quick stories to like that leads up to your product or service. Tap into people's emotions, their struggles, their desires, the things that they really want to say, but they might be fearful of saying that, or they don't feel comfortable saying. So when they're reading your ad or even when they're reading your post, like they hit you with that, she got me. Mm-hmm. Because when that happens, like I even had someone email me when I was doing my Fast Money course, and she like, you got me. I didn't even realize I was reading the ad until we got to the click. And then I had to smack the buy button at that point. Like, it's not like you're trying to trick people, but you're having a conversation with people. Like, and when it feels real, it doesn't feel imitated. Okay. And so when it doesn't feel imitated, it feels authentic to people, and they're more prone to buy from you because it doesn't feel like some cookie cutter ad copy that you just pulled out of, the hat or whatever.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And it's so funny you say that because my husband and I were just having this conversation today, and we are getting ready to release probably the most intense Facebook ad campaign that we ever did. And it's a video. You guys will see it very shortly. But when we got the video back from our producer this morning, I was like, I don't know, this is a little harsh. And he was like, so what?
I'm like, listen,
this is real. This is life. And
time to wake up.
It's time to wake up. And I was like, okay. But, I'm thinking, I don't want the people to feel like, we are coming at them, but it's still an emotion that they're feeling. You're either gonna love this ad or you're gonna hate it. There's no in between. So definitely capitalizing on feeling. Now, could you give us some tips, one or two, because you guys need to pick up the book to get the whole shebang. But I want you to kind of share like some tips that people can use to evoke emotion in their readers when they're reading, because it's, some people don't know some people are awesome writers and some people don't know how to communicate emotion in writing.
Okay. So I want to give you guys a couple.
Let me stop you 1 second.
No, go ahead. Okay.
If there's anybody, so we're doing this as a Facebook Live. So if you're watching this, guys, and you have a question for Apryl, please type it in the chat so that we can make sure we get your question answered. Okay, go.
All right, awesome. So one of the easiest ways for people to accomplish this, and I actually have full-blown templates inside the book, guys, that like walk you through all this stuff. But one of the easy ways for folks who are not writers is to start out with a leader. And so what a leader is, it's like an intro opener that kind of gets people's defenses down or sets them up for what you're about to say and makes them feel like, there's not about to be another sales pitch. So you can do something like confession time, real talk, oh my God, I got to tell you this, or oh my God, you got to hear this. Something that sets people up that makes them feel like, oh, okay, they're about to tell me something good. And as they read and they get down and be like, damn, they done tried to sell me something. Because hell, I'm down here at the bottom of the page anyway.
Right.
That's kind of what happens. But it's literally all about being social. So that's a good leader. Let me see. Another great tip is to tap into the reader's emotions. So by doing this, you really, really need to know who you are promoting your service to, and then you say things back to them that they've said to you that they're struggling with. So for example, people who come to me for copywriting, they have trouble with getting people to buy from the words that they have on the page. Hence, my whole thing is getting people to whip out their credit cards and smack the buy button, because I know that is a pain point for the people who come to me. So when you know your people's pain points, you flip it back to them in words that they can relate to, and then you add that right into the ad. Yeah, so that's what it is, two. Let me give y'all two.
Yeah, I know, because you can keep going as well, and I don't want you to give it all away, because that book, and as she mentioned, there's also a link in the book where you can get the templates, you can get I have not seen it broken down this clear and for so cheap in my life. So you definitely want to make sure that this is something that you get, even if I get people telling me that they're very intimidated by the ads. And I know exactly how you can be, because I remember, I've tried so many different things with Facebook ads, and I guess my worst situation that I had, I paid $200. I don't even know what I did, but I got like 9 conversions, and Facebook kindly swiped that $200 out of my card.
Right.
And I was like, we didn't even go on a date. I didn't get no fat. I didn't get a lobster tail. Like, I just felt raped, abused. I was totally pissed. And I was like, stop. It's active right now. And that scared me. Like, I didn't want to go back into that power editor for a minute, because I was like, I don't have $200 just be thrown in the wind for 9 conversions. And
right.
It was like for a webinar, it was like a free offer. So it wasn't even money back.
Wow.
It can be intimidating, but I love the way you simplify things for people to kind of understand, because it is most definitely a lot of money to be made on Facebook. And we didn't really talk about that. I know you go into the book, but I would like for you to share some of the things that you've been able to accomplish for yourself and for some of the other people that you've worked with using the strategies that you have in this book.
Okay.
On Facebook.
All right. So with the Fast Money course I'm talking about, so basically that was an ad where I taught the things that are inside. That was a course where I taught the things that were inside the book. That went down. It was a 4-week course. I think it was in August, all of August maybe, or August over to September. Anyway, so I spent $627 on Facebook ads. I made $10,504 back. I was on Periscope, so I'll be completely transparent. I was on Periscope some. I was not on Periscope all day, every day, 5 times a day. Facebook was my primary source of promotion for this course. What else? I had a client just last week. She actually went through the Fast Money course and she didn't run an ad, y'all. She literally took the template, put it on her personal Facebook page, and made over $500 in just a few hours. I said, well, get it, girl. And you ain't even spend no money.
Yeah.
I said, well, dang, go ahead. So, yeah, people are killing it. I go through I had a situation where I got hundreds of conversions over one weekend from a freebie. Facebook, that one was killing it. For webinars, it's just literally, and I don't do anything different per se. It's all about the formula and how you approach it. That's it. And the entire secret is inside the book.
Amazing. So tell them the name. You have a copy of the book with you. So can you show the peeps the book? I'm sorry for you guys that's not listening. That's listening. But if you're listening, then there is a picture of the book in the show notes. So you can see the book and you can grab it. It's called Fast Money, the easy way to use Facebook ads to hook smoking hot leads. It's by my girl, Apryl Beverly. It is amazing. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I have read the book cover to cover, and I do not promote or stand behind anything that I do not believe in. I absolutely believe in this book. I believe in Apryl. I know she's $1 million word stylist, and anybody who is trying to create Facebook ads, no matter where you are in your business, can absolutely benefit from the tools, tips, strategies, and step-by-step guidance that Apryl is giving you in this book. So make sure you grab it. And the release date, tell us one more time when the release date is.
The release date is officially October 13th. So that is Thursday. Go out and let me give y'all the link on where you can, hit up my sales page and see about it. You can go to fastmoneybook.co. That's fastmoneybook.co.
Amazing. And just tell the beautiful people out there where they can find you on social media.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Periscope. I'm on Facebook at BAAB Writing. It's BAAB Writing.
Yes. Did we cover everything? Is there anything else you wanted to say that we didn't cover?
I think that's it, because y'all would get me to a point where I would literally just go page by page in the book. And then on page 23, girl, let me tell you.
I know, and that's why I was like, all right, let me roll it back. Let me rein it back, because I'm like, okay, so I have a question about something on page 66. We won't do that today. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook Live, if you're listening to the live podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Apryl, thank you so much for joining our show again. And I
love y'all. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, you're always welcome on this show. So thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This episode is brought to you by the Rich Life Society. Become a part of our exclusive, invite-only Facebook community of like-minded entrepreneurs and build your powerful network to help promote your business, encourage and support you on your journey to the rich life. Just text the letters RLS to the number 31996 so you can instantly gain access to this exclusive party.
Thanks so much for listening to the Quit Your 9 to 5 podcast with your hosts, Tamisha and Damian Duncan. We'll catch you next time.